That horrific and most dreaded of writing experiences, deadlines. So I've recently figured out why deadlines have absolutely never worked for me in the past. They're really freaking scary. At least, I think they're really scary. I wouldn't actually know because my entire adult life has been carefully constructed so that I would never have to actually come up against, cross, or shake hands with a deadline. In fact, I'm so afraid of deadlines that I have developed 2 massive overreactions that have kept me from ever having to use them. Picture being down to the wire on a project in college. I can't picture that because I didn't freaking do that ever. No. Instead, I chose to just have no social life, go to the library as early as I possibly could, the day that I got the syllabus typically, and I did all the research, read all the homework, wrote a bunch, overthought absolutely everything, and then turned in the assignment 3 weeks early so that I could effectively avoid having any kind of a life at all, but at least I didn't get late on my deadline. It definitely didn't make me into an isolated weirdo at all. Which leads me to overreaction number 2. If I couldn't manage to pull off my first strategy, I would let myself off the hook. I would thoroughly eject myself from the project, that way I wouldn't have to confront my fear of failing or face any of the consequences that come with that failure because hey, they can't flunk you if you drop that class. And if I say I'm never gonna write the book, then hey, I never write the book. These strategies felt great whenever they worked. Because they felt great, it reinforced that desire, that behavior, and I managed to get away with it through all of college. Whenever I come across something like that in my life, it makes me stop and investigate and question why. Why am I like this? With a little bit of reflection time, I found some cool things out and I want to share them with you because they might help you. I know a lot of writers who get very neurotic around the idea of having a deadline. First up, I really hate that Napoleon Hill quote about how goals are just dreams with deadlines. A goal is just a dream with a deadline. I don't know, it diminishes what a dream is supposed to be. Beautiful things that you go after, toss a wet blanket over the top of it and drag it down to the ground and beat it over the head with a timestamp. I don't have loaded feelings about this. I don't know what you're talking about. I've also realized that my issues with deadlines aren't a result of thinking that I can't actually do the work. I'm pretty confident in what I can do now when it comes to writing. I know how to write a scene, a chapter, plot a book, whatever. I can do those things now. That's well inside my bailiwick. I've tried to let go of my desire of being ahead. I've tried to let go of meeting deadlines at all. It all results in stagnation. So I find myself stuck. How am I gonna win this? Then an annoyingly simple and also mildly offensive concept slapped me across the face like a snot rocket from my 5-year-old. Deadlines are just tools. It's not inherently loaded with all of this emotionally charged nonsense that I bring to it. That's all just me and my neuroses. And the cool thing is, it's just an instrument you use to do a job. That I can work with. That means it's a thing that I can practice. And if I practice working with a deadline, I can get better at meeting them. It just takes practice. Yay! People use deadlines to reach a goal that is unattainable in a single day, in a single stretch of consciousness for those of you that do like all-nighters. The way that we feel about the tool can either undermine our progress or generate momentum. Feelings are going to come into play. Aligning your feelings with your deadlines is going to be key if you want to have this as a tool in your writing desk. I used to operate this way. The possibility of rescheduling a deadline is so horrific a crime that I refuse to even engage. I've also been at, who cares? All deadlines are arbitrary. It's all irrelevant. I don't need to care about any of it. I can't even. Neither of those got me anywhere. Neither of those were an effective way to think about deadlines or bring my feelings into alignment with it. So here's where I'm at now. If I don't get this chapter done today, I'm gonna have to reschedule my entire production schedule. That kind of sucks. Fine. Even though they've never worked for me in the past, and being bipolar means that by definition, some part of me is always going to be really difficult to predict or schedule in advance. First, instead of having one huge paper that's worth 70% of my grade done at the end of a 10-week stretch, I'm giving myself an important deadline every single day. Today, it's to get this video out. Tomorrow, I have a chapter due. The day after that, that chapter needs to get edited. I schedule margin as one of those important tasks probably once a week. And I constantly remind myself that getting good at deadlines is a big part of the goal here. Yes, I want to have a book done before the end of this year. I also need to get good at deadlines if I ever am going to make that happen on a regular or consistent basis. I hope this gives you some insight into your own neurotic discomfort around deadlines. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye.
Hi. Hello. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. No, get out of here. I'm making a video.
I am trying to make a video. Don't you do it. Dang it. Oh! Ow. Garage door, stop making sound.